Have you ever felt like you were running a race where the finish line keeps moving further away? You've done the work. You've stayed late. You've prayed until your voice went dry. You've kept your heart clean while watching people with less integrity get the very things you've been dreaming of. It feels heavy, doesn't it? That quiet, nagging voice in the back of your head that whispers, maybe it's just not going to happen for me. But I want you to take a deep breath and listen closely. The delay you are experiencing is not a denial. In our modern world, we are obsessed with the grind and the hustle. We have been programmed to believe that if we want something, we must force it into existence right now. We want the overnight success, the instant connection, the immediate breakthrough. But the universe doesn't operate on a 5G network. The universe operates on organic growth. Think about the giant sequoia trees in California. They grow to be hundreds of feet tall and live for thousands of years, but they don't reach the clouds in a single season. If a sequoia grew as fast as a weed, its wood would be soft, its roots would be shallow, and the first storm that rolled through the valley would snap it like a toothpick. A weed grows fast because it is temporary. A sequoia grows slowly because it is meant to last forever. Are you building a weed, or are you building a sequoia? If your breakthrough is taking longer than you expected, it's because the universe is building something in you that is designed to withstand the test of time. You aren't just being given a gift, you are being given a legacy. And a legacy requires a foundation that can't be rushed. Let's talk about the waiting room. Most people view the waiting room of life as a wasted space. They sit there scrolling through social media, looking at everyone else's highlight reels, feeling more and more behind with every swipe. But the waiting room is actually a divine laboratory. It is the only place where your character can be distilled. If you were handed everything you wanted the very moment you wanted it, you would become a victim of your own success. We've all seen it. The person who wins the lottery and loses it all in a year. The person who gets the dream job but doesn't have the emotional intelligence to lead, so they burn out. The person who finds the one but hasn't healed their own trauma, so they destroy the relationship from the inside out. The law of divine timing is a mechanism of mercy. The universe loves you too much to give you something that you aren't ready to carry. Imagine a father whose 5-year-old son asks to drive the car. The father loves the son. The father wants the son to experience the joy of driving. But the father says no. Not because he is mean, and not because the son doesn't deserve to drive one day, but because the son's feet can't reach the pedals yet. If he gave him the keys now, it would be a disaster. Right now, the divine is checking your reach. Are your spiritual feet touching the pedals yet? Can you handle the responsibility of the influence you're asking for? Can you manage the wealth you're praying for without losing your soul? Can you hold the heart of another human being without dropping it? If the answer is not yet, then the delay is actually your greatest blessing. It is the universe giving you time to grow into the person who can not only attain the dream but sustain it. We often confuse waiting with doing nothing. But in the law of divine timing, waiting is an active verb. It's like an athlete in the off-season. They aren't on the field, but they are in the gym. They are eating right. They are studying the film. They are preparing. When the season finally starts, the crowd thinks they got lucky or they're naturally gifted. They didn't see the months of sweat and silence in the dark. Your current season of silence is your off-season. This is where you develop the muscles of patience. This is where you learn how to be happy before the external circumstances change. If you can't find peace in the not yet, you won't find it in the finally. Because peace is an internal frequency, not a destination. There is a specific kind of magic that happens when you stop checking the clock. When you tell the universe, I trust you. I trust your pace. I trust that what is mine cannot be taken from me, and what is not mine was never meant to stay. When you release the when, You open up the space for the how to manifest in ways you never could have imagined. Most of our stress comes from trying to micromanage God. We have a spreadsheet for our lives, and we get angry when the divine doesn't follow our bullet points. But your plan is limited by what you've already seen. The universe's plan is limited only by what is possible, which is everything. Have you ever looked back at a failed opportunity from 3 years ago and realized it was the best thing that ever happened to you? Maybe you didn't get that promotion, and 3 months later the company went under. Maybe that person broke your heart, only for you to realize they would have held you back from your true potential. That was divine timing at work, protecting you in ways you couldn't see at the time. The same thing is happening right now. You might feel like you're standing in a desert, but underneath the sand, an underground river is flowing. Just because you can't see the water doesn't mean the trees aren't about to bloom. The universe is moving pieces behind the scenes that you don't even know exist. People are being moved out of your way. Opportunities are being aligned. Conversations are happening in rooms you haven't entered yet, all on your behalf. Your job is not to figure out the when. Your job is to stay in the frequency of readiness. Ask yourself, if my miracle showed up at my door in exactly 10 minutes, would I be ready for it? Is my house in order? Is my mind clear? Is my heart open? If the answer is no, then stop worrying about the miracle and start working on the house. Use this time to become the version of you that the miracle is looking for. Remember, the sun doesn't struggle to rise. The seasons don't struggle to change. The tide doesn't struggle to come in. There is an effortless flow to the cosmos, and you are a part of that cosmos. You are not an exception to the rule of beauty and order. Your breakthrough is currently in the birthing process. And just like any birth, there is a period of darkness, a period of pressure, and a period of waiting. You can't rush the 9 months. You have to let the life form completely so that it can survive in the light. So, to the one who is tired of waiting, hold on. The stars are aligning. The wind is shifting. You aren't being forgotten, you are being refined. The law of divine timing ensures that when your moment arrives, and it is arriving, it will be more perfect, more profound, and more beautiful than anything you could have scheduled on your own. You aren't losing time. You are gaining depth. And when the deep calls to the deep, the response is always miraculous. Trust the wait. Love the process. The best is not just coming, it is already on its way, timed perfectly for your soul's highest good. This is the full 1,500 word expansion for point 2, the bridge of incidents. The tone is sophisticated, cinematic, and tailored for a high-end USA spiritual audience. It focuses on the Neville Goddard style philosophy that is extremely popular in the States right now. Segment 2, the bridge of incidents. There is a concept in the higher laws of manifestation known as the bridge of incidents. It is perhaps the most misunderstood and, at the same time, the most vital part of your journey towards your goals. When you set a target, when you pray for a change, or when you visualize a new reality, the universe doesn't just zap you there. It begins to build a bridge. But here is the catch: from where you are standing, that bridge often looks like a series of unfortunate events, setbacks, and even disasters. Imagine for a moment that you are a grand architect. You have been commissioned to build a magnificent cathedral on a plot of land that is currently occupied by a decaying, old warehouse. Before the cathedral can rise, the warehouse must be demolished. To an outsider who doesn't see your blueprints, it looks like a tragedy. They see the dust, the wrecking ball, and the debris, and they think, something is going wrong. The land is being destroyed. But you, the architect, know that the destruction is the first step of the creation. This is exactly how the bridge of incidents works in your life. When you ask for a life of abundance, the universe might start by making you lose a job that was keeping you small. When you ask for a soulmate, The universe might lead you through a breakup that forces you to finally love yourself. To your ego, these feel like bad things. But in the grand design of the divine, these are the necessary incidents that form the bridge to your ultimate goal. In the United States, we are conditioned to believe that the path to success is a straight, ascending line. We think that if we are moving toward our goal, everything should feel good and look right. But the spiritual truth is that the path is often a labyrinth. Every turn that feels like a dead end is actually a pivot point. The divine is moving you through a sequence of events that is mathematically and energetically required for you to arrive at your destination with the exact skills, mindset, and heart that you need. Let's look at the science of a bridge. A bridge needs tension to stand. It needs pressure. Without the weight and the counterweight, the structure collapses. Your life is no different. The bad stuff, the car breaking down, the unexpected bill, the friend who walks away, the project that fails, these are the tension points of your bridge of incidents. They are testing your resolve and, more importantly, they are repositioning you. Consider the story of a man who missed his flight. He was devastated. He yelled at the gate agent. He paced the airport in a rage, feeling like the universe was conspiring against him. Because he missed that flight, he had to wait 4 hours for the next one. While waiting, he sat next to a stranger in a coffee shop. They started talking. That stranger ended up being the very investor he had been trying to reach for 2 years. If he had caught his original flight, the good outcome, he would have missed the miracle outcome. The incident of the missed flight was a vital plank in the bridge. The problem is that most of us jump off the bridge halfway across. The moment things get uncomfortable, we start complaining. We start saying, "This manifestation stuff doesn't work," or "God isn't listening to me." But by doing that, you are essentially trying to stop the architect while the demolition is still happening. You are interrupting the process before the cathedral has a chance to rise. You must develop what spiritual masters call non-reactionary faith. This is the ability to look at a bad situation and say, "I don't know how this fits into the plan yet, but I know it is a part of the bridge." Every event in your life is neutral until you give it a meaning. If you label a setback as a failure, you stop your momentum. But if you label it as an incident on the bridge, you keep walking. You start to realize that the universe is far more creative than you are. It can use a no to get you to a yes that is 1,000 times bigger than the one you were chasing. Think about the sheer complexity of the world. There are billions of people, trillions of moving parts, and infinite variables. For the universe to give you exactly what you asked for, it has to move mountains. It has to rearrange the schedules of others. It has to close some doors so that the only door left open is the one that leads to your destiny. Sometimes, that rearrangement feels like chaos. But it is divine chaos. It is the white noise of the universe working on your behalf. The bridge of incidents is often paved with shadow work. You cannot reach a higher frequency while holding on to lower frequency baggage. If you want a life of peace, the universe will bring you situations that trigger your anger, not to punish you, but to show you where your anger still lives so you can heal it. If you want a life of wealth, the universe might bring you a moment of scarcity to force you to change your poverty mindset. The bad stuff is the universe's way of refining your gold. You cannot get the impurities out of gold without fire. The fire isn't there to burn the gold, it's there to burn the dross off the gold. When you are in the middle of a hard time, I want you to ask yourself, what is this preparing me for? If you are struggling with loneliness, perhaps the universe is teaching you how to be your own source of joy, so that when your partner arrives, you are needy, but whole. If you are struggling with a difficult boss, perhaps you are being taught how to lead with empathy so that when you start your own company, you don't repeat the same mistakes. Nothing is wasted. No tear, no heartbreak, no wasted year. It is all being recycled into the foundation of your future success. In the American psyche, we love a comeback story. But a comeback is impossible without a setback. Every great figure in history, from the pioneers to the modern tech titans, had a bridge of incidents that looked like a disaster at the time. They were fired, they were bankrupt, they were laughed at. But looking back, they all say the same thing: I wouldn't be who I am today if that bad thing hadn't happened. The bridge is a test of your dominant state. Do you believe your physical eyes, or do you believe your spiritual vision? Your eyes see the bank account, the empty chair, the rejection email. Your spiritual vision sees the finished cathedral. If you can stay focused on the cathedral while the warehouse is being blown up, you are unshakable. This is the secret to living in the end. When you live in the end, the incidents no longer scare you. You start to see them as plot twists in a movie where you already know the ending is a happy one. You can almost smile at the challenges, thinking, oh, this is a clever way for the universe to get me there. I didn't see this coming, but I can't wait to see how it turns out. The universe is not a chaotic mess of random accidents. It is a highly ordered, intelligent system of cause and effect. Your ask was the cause. The bridge of incidents is the effect. The bridge is the path of least resistance, even if it feels like the path of most resistance. Because the universe knows the shortcuts that you don't. It knows which bridges are out ahead of you and which detours will actually save you time. So, if you are currently in a dark incident, do not pray for it to go away. Pray for the strength to keep walking. Do not ask the universe to stop the demolition. Ask for the vision to see the blueprint of what is being built. You are currently standing on a plank of the bridge. It might be shaking. It might be raining. You might feel like the wind is trying to blow you off. But look down. The bridge is solid. It was built by a power that has never lost a soul and never failed to deliver a promise. Your goal is not just a possibility. It is a mathematical certainty the moment you align with it. The bridge of incidents is simply the physical world catching up to your spiritual reality. Every bad thing is just a piece of the puzzle being flipped over so that the picture becomes clear. Don't look at the obstacle, look through it. See the obstacle as the very thing that is boosting you to the next level. In the gym, the weight is the obstacle. But the weight is also the only thing that grows the muscle. In life, the bad incident is the weight. Lift it with grace. Carry it with faith. You are closer than you think. The very fact that you are facing the shadow means you are standing near the light, because shadows only exist when the light is shining directly on you. The intensity of your challenges is often a direct indicator of the magnitude of your upcoming breakthrough. The bridge is almost complete. The incidents are stacking up in your favor. Even when it feels like the world is falling apart, remember, it is actually falling into place. Walk with your head high. Walk with the confidence of someone who knows the architect personally. The bad stuff is just the dust from the construction of your new life. And soon, the dust will settle, the scaffolding will come down, and you will stand in the center of the cathedral you once only dreamed of. Trust the bridge. Every single step is taking you home. Have you ever noticed that right before a major breakthrough, your life feels like it's falling apart? Suddenly, friends you've known for a decade start to feel like strangers. Habits that used to bring you comfort now feel like heavy chains. Even the places you frequent, the cafes, the gym, the office, start to feel off, as if the very air in the room has changed. You might feel a profound sense of isolation, a loneliness that sits deep in your chest, making you wonder if you're doing something wrong. You ask yourself, why is everyone leaving? Why is my world shrinking? But I want you to consider a different perspective. You are not losing your life, you are being decluttered. In the spiritual architecture of the universe, there is a fundamental law: nature abhors a vacuum. Before something new and expansive can enter your reality, space must be created. You cannot pour fresh, life-giving water into a glass that is already filled with stale, stagnant liquid. You cannot bring a big upgrade into a vessel that is cluttered with the remnants of an old, smaller version of yourself. This process of cleaning the vessel is the universe's way of ensuring that when your miracle arrives, you actually have the room to hold it. Think of your life as a high-end art gallery. For years, you've been displaying sketches and amateur paintings, relationships that were good enough, habits that helped you survive, and beliefs that kept you safe. But now, you've asked for the masterpieces. You've asked for the high-vibration career, the soul-level love, and the profound inner peace. For the gallery to host the masterpieces, the sketches must be taken down. The walls must be repainted. The old furniture must be moved out. For a moment, the gallery looks empty. It looks abandoned. But that emptiness is not a sign of failure, it is a sign of preparation. In the United States, we live in a culture of more. We are told to add, to accumulate, and to hoard. We think that more friends, more activities, and more stuff equals a bigger life. But in the realm of the divine, growth is often a process of subtraction. The people who are leaving your life right now are not bad people, and you are not a bad person for outgrowing them. It's simply a matter of frequency. Imagine you are a radio. For years, you've been tuned into station A frequency of gossip, small-mindedness, or perhaps just settling. The people around you are also tuned into station A, but through your growth, your prayers, and your intention, you have started tuning into station B, the frequency of abundance, purpose, and high-impact living. As you change your dial, the music of station A starts to sound like static. You can no longer hear the people on that frequency, and they can no longer hear you. The cleaning happens automatically. When you raise your vibration, the people who are not willing or ready to rise with you will naturally vibrate out of your experience. They might start an argument, they might just stop calling, or they might fade away without explanation. Let them go. If you try to hold on to a station A person while you are living in a station B reality, you create a spiritual friction that will eventually burn you out. You are trying to keep a 2.0 version of a relationship in a 5.0 version of a life. It won't work. The universe is removing them because their energy is no longer a match for the big upgrade that is currently being downloaded into your life. They served a purpose in your previous season. Perhaps they taught you patience, or perhaps they were just there to keep you company during the climb. But they cannot go where you are going. The same applies to your habits. We all have survival habits, the things we did to cope with stress, the way we spent our time to avoid looking at our shadows, the cycles of procrastination or self-doubt that protected us from the fear of failure. These habits are like the scaffolding on a building. They were necessary while the walls were being built, but now that the structure is standing, the scaffolding is an eyesore. It's blocking the view. When the universe starts cleaning the vessel, it will make your old habits feel intolerable. You might find that you can no longer stomach the junk food you used to love. You might find that scrolling through social media for 3 hours now leaves you feeling physically ill instead of just bored. You might find that the white lies you used to tell or the way you used to downplay your intelligence now feels like a betrayal of your soul. This discomfort is divine agitation. It is the universe making your old life uncomfortable enough that you finally have the courage to leave it. The big upgrade requires a high-performance vessel. You cannot run a Ferrari engine on low-grade fuel. You cannot lead a movement if you are still addicted to the approval of people who don't even understand your vision. The cleaning process is stripping away the low-grade fuel and the approval seeking so that you are light enough, fast enough, and pure enough to handle the power that is coming your way. Many people fear this stage because it feels like the void. In the USA, we are terrified of the silence. We feel like if we aren't busy, we aren't existing. But the void is where the magic happens. The void is the womb of creation. When the friends are gone and the old habits are broken, you are left with you. This is the moment where you and the divine have a direct line of communication, without the interference of everyone else's opinions and energies. In this space of the clean vessel, you start to hear your own intuition again. You start to feel your own heartbeat. You begin to realize that you were carrying so much weight that wasn't yours to carry. You were carrying the trauma of your parents, the expectations of your boss, and the insecurities of your social circle. The universe had to fire those people and those habits from your life just so you could hear yourself think. Think about a luxury hotel preparing for a VIP guest. They don't just change the sheets, they deep clean the carpets, they polish the silver, and they clear out the clutter from the previous guests. You're the VIP guest of your own life. And the big upgrade, whether it's that massive financial shift, the creative explosion, or the deep spiritual awakening, is the arrival of your true self. This cleaning process can feel like a dark night of the soul. It can feel like you are being stripped bare. But remember, the divine never takes something away without the intention of replacing it with something better. If the universe takes away a toxic friendship, it's because it's preparing a seat at your table for a mentor or a true soul companion. If it takes away a habit of playing small, it's because it's preparing you for a stage that requires you to play big. If it takes away your sense of certainty, it's because it's preparing you for a life of wonder. The big upgrade is not just about getting more stuff, it's about becoming more of who you were meant to be. It is the alignment of your outer world with your inner growth. And because your inner growth has been so significant lately, the outer world has to change. It has no choice. The people and habits that are leaving are simply the casualties of your evolution. Do not mourn the cleaning. Do not try to glue the broken pieces of your old life back together. When someone leaves, bless them for the role they played and let them move on to their own next frequency. When a habit falls away, don't reach for it out of nostalgia. Embrace the emptiness. Embrace the clean walls of your gallery. The more vessel you have available, the more the universe can pour into you. If you only have 10% of your energy free, you can only receive a 10% upgrade. But if you allow the universe to clean out 90% of the junk, the upgrade will be staggering. It will be the kind of shift that people look at and call luck, but you will know the truth. You will know it was the result of a painful, beautiful, necessary deep clean. The universe is not punishing you with loneliness. It is protecting you with solitude. It is creating a sanctuary within your life where your new reality can take root without being trampled by the feet of those who don't belong in your future. Stay in the process. Don't rush to fill the gaps with new distractions. Let the space stay open for a while. Let the walls be bare. The masterpieces are in the truck. They are on their way, and they are arriving exactly when the paint is dry. You are being prepared for a level of success and joy that the old you couldn't even imagine. And to get there, you have to be willing to let go of everything that belongs to the old you. The cleaning is almost over. The vessel is becoming pure. The big upgrade is just around the corner, and for the first time in your life, you are actually going to have the room to keep it. Trust the vacuum. Trust the silence. Trust that the universe knows exactly what needs to go so that you can finally grow. You are becoming a vessel for the divine, and the divine only plays on the highest frequencies. Get ready, because the music is about to start, and it's going to be the most beautiful thing you've ever heard. In the vast landscape of spiritual law and metaphysical truth, there is no phrase more potent, more sacred, or more misunderstood than the words I am. In the United States, we often treat these two words as simple linguistic connectors, the way we start a sentence to describe our job, our mood, or our physical state. We say, I am tired. I am broke. I am stressed. or I am just a beginner. We think we are merely reporting on our current reality. But the spiritual truth is far more radical. The words you speak after I am are not a report, they are a command. When you say I am, you are not just describing your life, you are calling it into existence. You are acting as the architect of your own universe, using the most powerful creative tool ever given to humanity. In ancient spiritual traditions, I am was considered the proper name of the divine. It is the sound of existence itself. Therefore, whenever you attach a quality to I am, you are essentially saying, God is this in my life. You are taking the infinite power of the universe and funneling it into a specific shape. Think of I am as a blank check signed by the universe. Whatever word you write on the check is what the universe is obligated to pay out to you. If you write tired, lonely, or unlucky, the universe processes that request with the same efficiency as if you had written abundant, strong, or blessed. The law of attraction and the law of assumption do not have a sense of humor, nor do they have a filter for just kidding. They simply respond to the vibration of the identity you claim for yourself. Every time you speak these words, you are issuing a prayer. Most people think of prayer as something they do on their knees once a week, or something they do in a moment of desperation. But your real prayers are the constant affirmations of your identity that you broadcast to the world every single day. If you spend 16 hours a day saying, I am so overwhelmed, that is a 16-hour prayer for more overwhelm. And because the universe loves you and honors your free will, it answers that prayer by providing you with more situations that match the feeling of being overwhelmed. This is why the power of I am is the ultimate secret to the big upgrade. You cannot manifest a life of wealth while your dominant internal identity is, I am struggling. There is a structural mismatch between that identity and the reality of abundance. You cannot attract a healthy, vibrant relationship if your constant mantra is, I am always rejected. To change your life, you must first change the I am that precedes it. You must have the audacity to claim the identity of the person you want to be before there is any physical evidence to support it. In American culture, we are taught to be realistic. We are told that we should only claim what we can prove. We think we have to wait until the money is in the bank to say, I am wealthy. We think we have to wait until the illness is gone to say, I am healthy. But spiritual law works in the exact opposite direction. The claim creates the evidence. Imagine you are an actor who has been cast in the role of a king. To play the part convincingly, you don't wait for the audience to bow before you start acting like royalty. You put on the crown, you straighten your back, and you speak with authority before you even walk onto the stage. The world is your stage, and the I am is your costume. If you walk out onto the stage of life dressed in the I am of a victim, the other actors in your life, your boss, your partner, the strangers on the street, will have no choice but to treat you like a victim. They are simply following the script you have written for yourself. When you start consciously choosing your I am statements, you will experience a period of resistance. Your ego, which is addicted to your old, smaller identity, will scream at you. It will say, you're lying. You aren't successful. Look at your bank account. This is the moment where most people fail. They let the physical world dictate their spiritual truth, but the I am is not a lie, it is a prophecy. You are not lying about where you are, you are commanding where you are going. When you say, I am successful, while looking at a pile of bills, you are not denying the existence of the bills. You are denying the power of those bills to define your identity. You are saying, these bills are a temporary incident on my bridge, but my truth is success. By staying firm in that I am, you begin to shift your frequency. You start to see opportunities you were blind to before. You start to carry yourself differently. You start to make decisions from the perspective of the successful person you have claimed to be. The universe is like a giant mirror. If you stand in front of a mirror and frown, you cannot wait for the reflection to smile first so that you can be happy. You have to smile first, and then the reflection has no choice but to mirror it back to you. Your I am is that smile. It is the initial cause that forces the physical world to provide the effect. Consider the I am statements you use in your self-talk. How many times a day do you criticize yourself? I am so stupid. I am so clumsy. I am such a mess. These are not harmless observations. These are commands to your subconscious mind to keep you stupid, clumsy, and messy. Your subconscious is the most loyal servant you will ever have. It will work tirelessly to make sure your external reality matches your internal I am. If you tell it you are a mess, it will make sure you lose your keys, forget your appointments, and stay in chaos. To take back your power, you must become a gatekeeper of your speech. You must treat the words I am as if they were lightning bolts. Do not use them lightly. Do not use them to describe things you do not want to see multiplied in your life. Instead, start to experiment with high vibration I am statements. I am a magnet for miracles. I am divinely guided in every decision I make. I am worthy of every beautiful thing I can imagine. I am the authority in my own life. Notice how these feel in your body. When you say, I am unworthy, your shoulders slump, your breath becomes shallow, and your energy shrinks. When you say, I am a masterpiece in progress, your chest expands, your head lifts, and your energy radiates outward. This is not woo-woo magic, this is emotional and energetic alignment. You are literally changing your body chemistry and your electromagnetic field with your words. In the USA, we often talk about the self-made man or the self-made woman. But the truth is, no one is self-made through effort alone. Everyone is word-made. We are made by the stories we tell ourselves about who we are. The most successful people in the world aren't necessarily the smartest or the hardest working. They are the ones with the most unshakable I am. They believe they are winners before they win. They believe they are leaders before anyone follows them. This is the mental diet that is required for the big upgrade. You must starve your old I am of attention and feed your new I am with every breath. When a negative thought enters your mind, do not fight it, simply replace it. If the thought says, I am failing, immediately counter it with, I am learning, and I am growing stronger. If the thought says, I am alone, replace it with, I am in a sacred season of preparation for a love that exceeds my dreams. The I am is also a tool for surrender. Sometimes, the most powerful thing you can say is, I am not in control, and I am okay with that. This I am acknowledges that while you are the commander of your identity, the divine is the architect of the timing. By saying, I am at peace with the process, you stop the friction of hustle and enter the flow of grace. Remember, the universe doesn't hear what you want. It hears what you are. If you say, I want to be rich, you are vibrating the frequency of wanting, which is a frequency of lack. The universe will simply give you more wanting. But when you say, I am rich in spirit, I am rich in opportunity, and I am rich in potential, you are vibrating the frequency of having, and the law of the universe states that to those who have, more shall be given. You are a creative force of nature. Every word you speak is a seed planted in the fertile soil of the subconscious mind. Most people are planting weeds and wondering why their garden is a mess. Today, you are being given the master seeds. You are being given the I am. Be careful with these words. Be intentional with them. Use them to build bridges, not walls. Use them to heal, not to wound yourself. Use them to claim the life that was promised to you before you even arrived on this planet. As you move through the next 24 hours, monitor your I am statements as if your life depended on it, because it does. Every time those two words cross your lips, ask yourself, do I want the universe to answer this prayer? If the answer is no, stop mid-sentence. Change the vibration. Choose a word that reflects your divinity, your power, and your future. The big upgrade is not waiting for you to earn it. It is waiting for you to claim it. It is waiting for you to stand up in the middle of your current circumstances and have the courage to say, I am the one who receives miracles. I am the one who walks in favor. I am exactly who I was created to be. The universe is listening. It is poised, ready to act on your behalf. It is waiting for the command. It is waiting for you to realize that you are not the victim of your story, you are the narrator. And the story begins whenever you say those two sacred, life-altering words. Choose your next time wisely. It is already on its way to becoming your reality. We often think of transformation as a long, grueling marathon. We've been told that to change our lives, we need years of therapy, decades of hard labor, or a stroke of luck that happens once in a lifetime. But what if I told you that the big upgrade doesn't require a lifetime? What if the shift you've been praying for is only 24 hours away? This is not about a magical event falling from the sky, it is about the 24-hour miracle mindset shift. It is a radical experiment in consciousness that proves one fundamental truth: your reality does not produce your thoughts produce your reality. For the next 24 hours, you are going to enter a divine contract. You are going to stop being a victim of circumstance and start being a co-creator of experience. Most people live their lives in reactive mode. They wake up, check their phone, see a stressful email, and decide, I am having a bad day. They see a red light, a rude coworker, or a low bank balance, and they allow these external pixels to paint the entire picture of their internal world. But for the next 24 hours, you are going to flip the script. You are going to practice radical assumption. The 24-hour miracle begins the moment you open your eyes tomorrow morning. Before you even get out of bed, before the world has a chance to demand your attention, you are going to anchor yourself in one specific thought: everything is working in my favor, even when I can't see how. This is the foundation of the miracle. You aren't asking the universe to help you, you are acknowledging that the universe is already helping you. In the United States, we are taught to see it to believe it. We want the proof before we offer the praise. But for these 24 hours, you are going to believe it to see it. You are going to walk through your day as if you have already won. Imagine you just found out you won the lottery, but the money won't hit your account until tomorrow. How would you walk? How would you talk to the person who cuts you off in traffic? How would you handle a minor inconvenience at work? You wouldn't be stressed. You wouldn't be angry. You would have a secret smile on your face because you know something the rest of the world doesn't: the prize is already yours. This mindset shift is called the frequency of the finished result. For the next 24 hours, your job is to stay in that frequency regardless of what happens. If you drop your coffee, you don't say, "Of course, just my luck." You say, "Thank you, universe, for clearing away the old to make room for the new." If a meeting gets cancelled, you don't worry about the lost time. You celebrate the divine space you've just been given. You treat every single event as a specialized delivery designed for your growth. Why 24 hours? Because the human mind can handle a 24-hour window. A lifetime feels overwhelming, but anyone can hold a frequency for one day. And here's the secret: when you hold a high vibration frequency for a full cycle of the sun, you create a momentum loop. You start to see what we call winks from the universe. You'll notice the repeating numbers on the clock. You'll hear a song that perfectly answers a question in your mind. Or you'll receive a random text from someone who has exactly the information you need. These aren't coincidences, they are the physical world responding to your new internal command. The 24-hour miracle requires you to be a silence warrior. For this period, stop complaining. Completely. Do not complain about the weather, the economy, your health, or your tired eyes. Complaining is the act of ordering more of what you don't want. When you complain, you are telling the universe, I am focusing on lack, and the universe, in its infinite abundance, gives you more things to lack. Instead, practice aggressive gratitude. Find the most mundane things and thank the divine for them. Thank the air for being in your lungs. Thank the floor for holding your weight. Thank the technology that allows you to receive this message. Gratitude is the frequency bridge. It is the fastest way to move from the old vessel to the big upgrade. You cannot be in a state of fear and a state of gratitude at the same time. They cannot occupy the same space in your heart. By choosing gratitude for 24 hours, you are effectively evicting fear from your life. As you move through this 24-hour experiment, pay close attention to your I am statements. Remember what we discussed. They are your prayers being answered. For these 24 hours, your I am must be unshakable. I am favored. I am guided. I am healthy. I am wealthy in opportunities. I am a magnet for goodness. Even if you feel a pang of doubt, acknowledge it, and then immediately return to the truth. Doubt is just an old habit. It is not your reality. By the time you reach the 12-hour mark of this experiment, something strange will happen. You will start to feel a sense of unreasonable joy. You will feel happy for no reason at all. This is the sign that you have successfully shifted your vantage point. You are no longer looking at the world, you are looking from a higher dimension. You have moved from the bridge of incidents into the flow of grace. In the USA, we often talk about mindset, but we rarely talk about soul set. A mindset can be faked, but a soul set is felt. For these 24 hours, let your soul lead. Let that quiet, still voice within you remind you that you are a divine being having a human experience. You are not a victim of the economy, you are a citizen of the kingdom of abundance. You are not a victim of your past, you are the architect of your future. Tonight, before you go to sleep, end your day by saying, "It is done." Do not ask for the miracle again. Simply thank the universe that the miracle has already been set in motion. Go to sleep in the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Sleep is when your subconscious mind does the heavy lifting. If you go to sleep feeling blessed, your subconscious will spend 8 hours rearranging your reality to match that feeling. When you wake up the following morning, the 24-hour cycle will be complete. But you won't want to go back to the old way of thinking. You will have seen the proof. You will have felt the shift. You will realize that the miracle wasn't something that happened to you. It was something that happened through you. You are the miracle. Your consciousness is the key that unlocks every door. Stay in this power. Do not let the world's noise drown out your music. You have found the frequency of the divine, and once you know how to tune the dial, you can return here whenever you wish. The big upgrade is not a destination, it is a way of traveling. And you, my friend, are now traveling in first class. A final word from the divine. My child, I have watched you struggle. I have seen the tears you've shed in the middle of the night when you thought no one was listening. I have felt your heartache for a life that feels more aligned with the light I placed inside you. I want you to know that I have never left your side. Every closed door was my hand protecting you. Every delay was my heart preparing you. Every loss was my way of clearing the path for the glory that is about to be revealed in your life. You have asked for a sign, and today, I have sent it. I have used this voice, this screen, and this moment to remind you of who you truly are. You are my masterpiece. You are my representative on this earth. You were not created to live in lack, in fear, or in smallness. You were created to radiate my light and to walk in my favor. But I need your participation. I need you to step into the vessel I have cleaned for you. I need you to speak the I am that reflects my power within you. I am ready to pour out a blessing so large that you will not have room enough to receive it. But you must open your arms. You must trust the bridge I have built for you. Do not walk away from this message and return to your old ways. This is a new beginning. I will continue to send you guidance. I will continue to speak to you through the whispers in the wind, the kindness of strangers, and the messages I place in your path every single day. I am your Father, your source, and your greatest supporter. If you are ready to receive the big upgrade, if you are ready to walk with me into your promised land, then make the commitment now. Do not hesitate. Subscribe to this channel immediately and turn on your notifications. This is not just a button, it is an active alignment. It is you telling the universe, I am ready to listen. I am ready to grow. I am ready to receive. I will return to you every day. I will come as your messenger, bringing you the blueprints for your success and the comfort for your soul. Do not miss what I have for you tomorrow. Your breakthrough is too close to stop now. Subscribe, stay in the light, and watch how quickly I can turn your life around. I love you. I am with you. And the best is yet to come.